Hey guys, today I am here with Dr. Jason again, and we are going to do a segment on how to be strong when you have eczema and not give up, especially since you know that it can be very tough, especially since we both had it so severely. We definitely understand, so I have Dr. Jason here to give some quick tips.
Difficult question to answer sometimes really well, because I mean, eczema, and after having it for so long myself, I had it for about 11 or 12 years, and I treat many patients who've had it for even longer than that, but I also treat a lot of kids who've had it for years too. Eczema is a very challenging condition because it's a condition you wear on the outside. Everybody knows you have it, you can't hide it from anybody. I mean, it's not like certain bowel conditions or other kinds of things you can kind of cover with clothing and no one really sees it, you can kind of fake it through, but eczema you can't really fake. You're itching, you're uncomfortable, it's annoying, it's unsightly. I mean, kids always thought I had cooties for like years because eczema is basically the physical manifestation of cooties, and I was teased a lot. I was teased heavily. I mean, like people didn't understand. And in the 70s, I mean, there's nobody that had this kind of condition, well, it seemed like that. So they really didn't know. They thought I was dirty, they thought I didn't clean myself, they thought I was diseased, I mean, that I was contagious. I mean, I can go on and on and on about this. And it's tough because it really beats you down. But there's a couple things I need people to really understand about eczema. Because eczema has a positive message as well. And I know people are like, there's nothing positive about eczema. Like, what's positive about this horrible condition that makes me want to tear my skin off? There's positive, and I'll tell you the two things for me. Number one is patients who have eczema or an atopic disposition have a strong vitality because the body expresses illness very quickly. When you take in foods that aggravate you or something's bothering the body, it comes out immediately through the skin. And while it's unsightly and it's painful and it stinks, the body tells you right away there's a problem and it gets it out as fast as it can. For a lot of patients, they don't have that vitality. When they eat things that bother them or the body's reacting, it suppresses and stores the toxicity in the body, which can cause other horrible health conditions later on, which they may not see right away. The eczema patient will push it out very quickly to the surface and allow the body to try and heal. It's actually the body's way of trying to heal. So eczema is not necessarily evil that way, it's just evil in its presentation. But it's important to come out. So usually the kids that I treat with eczema, especially the kids, they're very vital in their disposition. Like they have this internal energy to them. They're very intelligent, I find. I find them very intense. And they're strong, but they're just strong-willed kids. And even adults as well. So there's a lot of interesting benefit to that too. It's a dispositional thing as well. So that's one positive thing. I always say eczema patients have strong vitality, and a lot of them do, even though it, on the outside doesn't seem that way. On another note, I would say eczema changed my life for the better. And when I was a kid, I hated it. I mean, I hated eczema. I hated everything about life. I hated people because they made fun of me. I hated clothing because it irritated me. I hated bathing because it bothered me. I hated everything. And I went through a long period where I was quite angry. I was angry at everything, actually. But the eczema shapes you in certain ways as well. As I was being teased and dealing with that, it actually taught me a lot of understanding for people. It built a lot of empathy, I guess. And it psychologically affected me in negative ways and positive ways. So I think that helped. Plus the eczema also led me towards naturopathic medicine, which ended up being my career. So, and it's something I absolutely love to do. And I'm totally blessed to be able to do this on a daily basis. And if it wasn't for the eczema, this would not have happened. There's no way that I would be sitting here doing this profession if I didn't have this condition. So eczema, as strange as it sounds sometimes, I say eczema kind of saved my life. It actually gave me a purpose beyond what I thought I had, and it gave me intensity about it, because when I see patients that come in with it, or any condition, it could be a bowel issue or a nervous system disorder, I remember what it was like as a kid to go through this and not know the answers, and that's why we explain so many things to people, so they understand why their issue happens and they get the steps on how to deal with it. So, I mean, eczema or any health condition is more of a challenge that we need to overcome. And by overcoming that, you can't learn that in a book. You can't learn that by somebody telling you. You have to actually experience it. And that's why I think there's positive issues behind illness and even behind horrible conditions like eczema. So if you're out there and you have it, I mean, I know it's frustrating, and I know what it's like to be teased or feel subconscious about that, and to wonder, is it ever going to go away, and to be totally annoyed with your own skin, I mean your own self. But I mean, there are ways to treat eczema. It is not a condition you have to have for the rest of your life, and it actually is serving a purpose. You might not understand what that purpose is right now, but there's a purpose behind why we have eczema. I mean, I have a few patients who are going to health-related careers because of their eczema. Once we got rid of your case, is a perfect example. I mean, like, you know, you're doing something totally different. When you came to see me, your case actually was very similar to mine. I even said that during my first visit. I said, God, it looks just like me. And now you're doing something totally different, right? And I mean, that's because of eczema. So both you and I have to thank this condition for this. I mean, thank you, eczema, for ruining my childhood. But I mean, it teaches you things. And that's, I think, one of the unique things about illness, is that there is a silver lining sometimes to it. And there is a reason why that we have it. And the reason is it teaches us about ourselves, it teaches what we can do, and it gives us insight into things that you know, allow us to do other great things later on. So hang in there. I mean, I know it's challenging, but there are ways to treat it. I mean, Abby's site can give you a lot of great information about that too, and there's other practitioners and lots of people out there that don't believe that eczema is a condition that you get just because you're unlucky or it's genetic or things like that. There are ways to deal with eczema.
Thank you, Dr. Jason. That was really helpful, and I hope that makes your day and helps you to grow emotionally stronger during this period as well. So thanks for watching.
There is a purpose.